So ChatGPT gave me some pretty interesting stuff. If you saw my LinkedIn post, I talked about that I'm going to make a honeypot, and I did some research on how to make a honeypot. It's kind of extensive. Some of them requires you to learn a little bit of Python. Some of them needs like Kali and install the GitHub repository, which I've seen a couple of videos. One of them was John Hammond. Other ones are like from small creators. But that's not what I did, okay? And if my mic is loud, I'm sorry. But today, ChatGPT did some absolute gangster stuff. Can I tell you? All right. So if y'all don't, first of all, let's go over what a honeypot is. A honeypot essentially is, I wouldn't say like a server. It could be a server, right? But in my case scenario, what I did is I ran a script, and it gives the idea of the attacker that so it's a SSH honeypot in my case, but essentially when you try to log into the honeypot, it thinks that it's in a very vulnerable environment, and it can scour through the environment as well. I technically didn't make a proper honeypot. This is just like a very quick demo on what I did. Later on, I'll add on to that and maybe get a full functioning server, right? But I went on to ChatGPT, and I just, I asked for a very basic, just give me a script on how to make a honeypot. It gave me this script right here. Okay. Now, when I go over here and I have it on Python 3. So here are two of them, okay? So one of them is just the honeypot, the basic honeypot. The reason why I label it as two is because the first one I kind of braked it. But this is to get the honeypot rolling, right? So if we do a vim honeypot, and you can name it however you want, just make sure it's a py extension, so .py extension, right? So this is the code. For the record, this is on my home network. Any pen testers or hackers out there, please do not harm me. I'm only doing this for educational purposes, right? But as you can see, I have to put in my actual IP, right? And then put in the port that the SSH runs in, right? So my SSH is labeled, or the port of my SSH is actually 22, but I actually turned it off, right? And I'll show you why. I'll show you a demonstration on how this works, right? But then over here, you need to specify the honeypot port, and I specify as 22. You can do whatever what you want. I decided to do 22. We can do like 100 or 180, 9,999 if you want. So if we do, let's do like a quick. Right, let's just do the default credentials, right? And then we do a read, write, and quit. So basically, what you want to do is run a Python 3 command first, and then you're gonna put in the script, right? And you have to do sudo. You have to do sudo. And I think I put in the password wrong. Yep, I did. Fat finger. Okay, so now as you can see, it's running the honeypot on port 99999 bajillion zillion. We're gonna open a new window, right? And then we're just gonna go ahead and do an nmap, right? So nmap, we're gonna do sv sc vv t5, and then we're gonna put in the IP of mine. So mine's 192.168.192.200. Now, I'm not going to lie with you guys. This is actually kind of gangster, okay? So, as you can see, we have a TCP open port right here, which is port 22. And then the service is TCP wrapped, as you can see. But it's logging these things right now. If I turn the service off, so we do a control C, and I run nmap again, you're not gonna find it. Right, you cannot find, because like when I was running over here, it was running at the time. You see, this was open, so that's the honeypot right there. But once I turn off the service and run the nmap again, you can't see it, right? Like you can't see the service. Now, to make it even more groundbreaking evidence, let me go ahead and close it, do a history real quick, and then we will do the 491. We run nmap again, and as you can see, there's nothing running, right? So it's pretty cool that ChatGPT was able to give me a very basic script, and I was able to implement that script and make a honeypot out of it. Now, I will say this is more like an intrusion detection system, saying that, oh, someone's trying to act or someone's trying to communicate with SSH. But later on, when I add more stuff, I'll try to make its own server where you can actually SSH into the configure. I won't do it in my IP, right? This is just a test run, but I will make an own server, probably off of AWS or Linode, or maybe even a Docker container, if that's even possible. I don't know. I'm about to find out. But it's really cool that ChatGPT was able to give me the codes that I need in order to make a very basic honeypot. Now, like I said again, it's only an IDS, right? You can do an nmap and then log in. You know, but that's it for now. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. And I know in my LinkedIn post I said that I'll be making a honeypot video, but honestly, I was not expecting it for it to be that quick, in my opinion. Now there are videos where I could take probably like a whole week or 2 weeks to figure it out, but someone recommended me to use ChatGPT, and I was like, yeah, I could. And I used ChatGPT. It pulled up the script. I used it, and it works. Oddly enough. So if you're interested on how to do it, all you have to do is, if you want to use ChatGPT, you can. But what you basically do, you want to make your own file, right? So if we go ahead, well, I like to make my own directory first. So my directory would be on Python, right? And then you actually have to make your own file. For this one, I noticed that the honeypot does not keep the logs, so I'm trying to figure out how to keep the logs while it runs, right? So I made its own little script, its own little file for it to keep the logs, right? But that's in a work in progress for now, right? So if we do a honeypots right there, this is very different, right? As you can see, we have two more libraries that's importing. So we have logging and the datetime, which you will need in order to put in the logs. Now, I do not know if it makes its own file, right? So seems like it does. Seems like it does. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how to read Python, but I'm learning, right? Anyway. So, just a quick update. I know I said like 30 minutes ago, an hour ago, saying that I'll make a honeypot video, but I find this to be pretty darn cool, if you ask me, okay? Just to pull up ChatGPT and then pull out a script and then let it run. Most of the time, ChatGPT doesn't even want to work with me, okay? So the fact that this is working, it's a work in progress, right? Like, I'm getting somewhere. But yeah, that'll be it for today. I know this is a very quick video, not a thorough breakdown, but the plans for this is to use this little script as a starting point for me to build a server out of it, and then maybe add a couple of directories in order for like outside users to go around. Okay, maybe not outside users, maybe myself, to be honest. But for me to like go around and start messing things up and then exit and then come to find out that everything that I did, all the changes I made, were logged and did not change whatsoever. Right, so that's the whole idea of today's video. It's just to make a starting point and then to have an end goal for it. So that'll be all today. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this very quick rant on my discovery, and I will see you next time. Peace.